Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial about Logic Pro 9, which is a software that's used to produce and record music. I have already created a shortcut for Logic Pro 9 in my dock, so I will start it up now. And while it starts up, I will also explain that there is a new version of Logic Pro out at the moment, which is Logic Pro 10. But a lot of producers, including myself, feel that it's not super stable yet. So a lot of people are still on Logic Pro 9, which is the software that we're going to be using today. So Logic Pro has now started, and you can see that at the top of the screen you have some options. If you go into the File menu and just select File, New, it will open up a new session. You can choose from a number of templates that's already available in Logic Pro 9. In our case, we will go with an empty project because that gives us the most flexibility and allows you to understand exactly how this program works. So let's go ahead and click on Empty Project. You will then get another drop-down menu where the program will ask you how many new tracks you want to include in your session, and if you want them to be audio tracks, software instrument tracks, or external MIDI tracks. I will explain something about external MIDI and software instruments later, but for now, let's just go ahead with audio tracks and create 24 tracks, which is usually a pretty common number of tracks to have in a session. The program also asks you if you want the format of said tracks to be mono or stereo. In this case, we will go with stereo because that's the most common format for audio tracks. And the other options you can leave as they are. So input will be input 1 and 2, output will be output 1 and 2. So if we go ahead and click create, we will have our 24 tracks in the session. Now, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that you are able to choose from 4 tabs, which is Bin, Loops, Library, and Browser. Logic Pro 9 already comes with a vast array of sounds and a number of audio already in the program, which you can find in the Loops section. So if you wanted to start your session straight away, you would just choose one of these loops, which are organized by type and by genre. So you can see that you have acoustic, bass, all drums, kits, beats, piano, etc., etc. But for now, let's look at another element of your session, which is these tabs that you have at the bottom: Mixer, Sample Editor, Piano Roll, Score, and Hyper Editor. If you click on the Mixer tab, you will be able to see exactly how the program is organized. So every one of the tracks that you have created corresponds to a track on your virtual mixer, which is what you're seeing at the moment, which has these 24 audio tracks all assigned to stereo out, which is your output of your machine if you are using just the Mac for stereo out, or if you're using an external sound card, it will be the output of your sound card. Same thing goes for input 1 and 2. So if you're just using the Mac for sound, your input will be the built-in input. If you're using an external sound card, it will be input 1 and 2 of the external sound card. So what we want to explain you today is how to have a good workflow with Logic and how to save time. When you load up your first session, you will be a little confused by the amount of stuff that you see. So as I said, 24 audio tracks is usually enough to not get amazingly confused.